assist me in welcoming Pastor Simba, the founder and programs coordinator for Strong Bonds Marriage Africa, and the author of the book that is titled The Marriage Handbook, and pastor at Praise and City Church. Sawubona Pastor Simba, unjani?
Mina ngiyaphila, wena unjani sa?
Mina ngiphile.
Yabe njani iValentine yakho?
iValentine yami mina yayimnandi nje mfowethu.
Uthatha ama gifts?
Ngithetha ama gifts kumbe i6. Lina lathengela abantwana bethu ama gifts yini? Did you buy your daughter's gifts and your wife? Did she get cement bags?
I was hoping you won't remind them. I still owe them.
Yo.
I haven't.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish my show, post on Instagram and on TikTok. Kuti Pastor Simba.
For Pastor Glory, my wife, it's Valentine's Day every day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Soft. Speaking of which, Pastor Simba, can you please tell me what is soft life to you?
When all school fees are paid up. School fees.
Yeah.
You understand this when you get to my age. You guys are talking about soft life. Ka drink ka orange ka lemon pa side nichiwa gara paka cheka ka rupa beach. With us at our age, soft life is knowing school fees are paid for. That's soft life. Now we're talking.
Okay, fair enough. Soft life is different for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, Zidni, it's understandable. Definitely.
So you know what, Za? That's exactly what should happen when you're in a relationship or in a marriage. Understand utumripa stage. Don't be pressured by anything. Just understand the stage that you're at. Kutipatira pas one is very important. Very important. Did I say that?
Yes.
Very important.
Most certainly.
Because someone got hold of me last week. Pastor Simba, you always say very important. Then of course, everything that I say is important.
Yes, I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So today we're looking at silent treatment. You've heard of silent treatment?
I have. Silent treatment has worked on my father for the longest time that I just can't wait to use it on my husband one day.
So we want to unpack it today. Okay, if it's a treatment, which pharmacy sells that treatment? Where do you get it? Where do you buy it? If it's a treatment.
True.
Does it heal or it hurts?
Yeah.
Is it golden? Because I've heard some people saying silence is golden. Is it golden or it's cold?
Yeah.
So we want to unpack all that in the little time that we have. But what I want to say is, right from the onset, is that we need to break the silence now. And today I'm speaking prophetically to a couple that's tuned in right now. Or maybe Uruega, but I'm just here for you. This could be God speaking into your life. Could you please break that silence now?
Yeah.
You have no idea what that silence is costing you.
True.
Do you know the other day, my wife and I just want to be very real today. I'm just sharing from our secrets. Okay. I didn't get permission from my wife, but I know she doesn't mind because it's a story that is out in the public. I always share this with, the groups that we mentor. There's a day we went to a restaurant, we're dining out, and Tirikoko, we decided to tip. We give my tips to my waiters and waitresses. So we then had a little argument, me and Pastor Glory.
Yeah.
So the other one, I won't say which one, was saying, tipi ya wapa yaga kura, you should have given them this size a tip. So we had a small argument, and before we knew it, we were already on silent mode.
Yeah.
We're not even talking to each other now. Tapa vibration, tautara ni sign language, atisha taura tesi rakanaka. And, we drove back home in that state.
Yeah.
Even the following morning, it was still like that. Though during the day we found, we had to find each other with no option.
Yeah.
But you know what? You can imagine, as you're driving back home, you sing things and you can't even comment. You can't even tell your loved one, your best friend, because muripa silent mode. You'd want to break that silence.
Yeah.
Because ruti iyengatange in routine, something like that. So you can imagine the costs are. You can actually drive for 100 kilometers, not talking to each other, and then you have things that are in your mind and you wish you could share, but because of that silence, the silent treatment that you're giving each other, pamunozogara pasi manje makuchitanga uchiudzana kuti apaipa ndakazoona zvakati chichi, it's because you were in that mode. You're not talking to each other, so there's a lot of updates and all those things. You miss out on a lot of things. Okay, and it's also because of how we're socialized as well. I know of people that were told kuti kana urumba mwana wangu, especially vakadzi, you are told kana urumba funda mvura mumuromo. You know what that means? Kudanzi, don't talk back, to your husband. Usataure usaita say funda mvura muromo. So one can then go for a week as kutaura nomunhu wake. And I'm sure back then it worked. But now, let's be real, people have self-awareness. They also want to express themselves emotionally. The women that we are saying, Guti, funda vura. So I don't subscribe to that. I want us to create a platform where my wife can speak to me, she can express herself freely. I want to create an environment where one can be emotionally available, emotionally, there for each other. And one is allowed to express themselves. Kwete kuti anzi funda mvura usataura. Anongotaura chete murume. I don't subscribe to that because God created us equally. Tiri vanhu vakafanana. We must respect that. Munhu wako haisi muka, you can then tell them, you can gag them and say, you're not allowed to speak. I'm the one who should speak because ndiri murume. I think izvozvo ndezvokushaya zvakasara. So we have things like that we're struggling with, yes, zvakataurwa kudhara. So zvinhu zvacho zvinomake sense in certain conditions that I'll explain later on. I've also come across some advice kuti hanzi isadombo muromo. Meaning kuti, when you have something in your mouth, you're not supposed to speak.
Yeah.
So ukaona waitwa zvinhu wakanganisirwa nemunhu wako, don't speak back or don't express yourself how you feel. I think that kills you gradually. It will kill you at the end of the day. So we need to create a platform where we can actually express ourselves freely, where we are emotionally vulnerable to each other. Muna otaura zvaari kuda kutaura asinganzwi kakutya kokuti I'm not supposed to speak, and people are walking on eggshells. Okay, we don't want that to happen. I know kuti zvandikutaura my perpetrators of emotional violence, they don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
Because that's emotional violence. If you're going to gag someone, or if you're not going to speak to them, if you're not going to allow them to speak to you, that's emotional violence. It's emotional abuse. So I know a lot of these perpetrators, particularly narcissists, they don't want to hear this. I'm sorry, but I just have to say it. It is not right. It harms the relationship. It hurts the relationships. So you don't want to be in that place. Okay, let me clarify something here. There's a difference between silence and silent treatment. When someone is silent, what it means is that they are trying to avoid certain things. Maybe they don't want things to escalate and all that, but doesn't necessarily mean that they are giving you a silent treatment. So I'll try to differentiate the two. Because there are times when silence is good. Silence sometimes is good. There are times where you just need to walk away. There are times where you need to be in your own space. There are times where you need to retreat to your man cave or a women cave. I believe we should also have one for women as well.
Yeah.
They go through a lot of things, so they also need their own time. That's the reason why recovering and all that. The helper also needs to be helped. We know that the wife is the helper, however you say it, but they also need a helper. So it's very important for us to give them time to also go in that space where they are silent, where they are themselves, they are alone. So silence is also good because it also heals. Remember, the question is, does it heal or it hurts?
Yes.
Silence heals, but silent treatment hurts.
Yeah.
Silence, yes, it can be golden, but silent treatment is cold.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to push today. So silence, with silence, the Bible would say your partner is using it because they want to cool off. There's a environment that's created, and you might say the wrong things in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
So wisdom says, you know what? Go somewhere, cool off. Baby, I can't discuss this with you now. Emotions are all over the place. They're flaring up and all that. Can we discuss this after 30 minutes? So that silence is good. We can observe that silence. It's very important for a moment. But if it then drags for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month, it's now taking a new name. It's now silent treatment. And I tell you today, most narcissists use that weapon as they try to maybe deal with some conflict in that relationship. So silence is golden when you're trying to cool off. Okay?
Yes.
So you can use that because there are times when, being silent is acceptable and even productive. In such times, it's okay. We encourage that. But we don't want that to be prolonged. So you can call for a timeout in a relationship with Asha. Now in Gatbo Mira. Mira tumbo kula off. Call for timeout. So that silence is accepted. It is important. And also, ukaona futhi kuti panapa, if we continue to discuss this issue, escalate into violence, it's also okay for you to pull out and go into that silence mode. But we are not saying it's silence treatment. I'll explain exactly what we mean by silence treatment. So kufunda mvura kwakwe, it's okay. There are times where it's okay, because if tikatanga kutaura uyu achitaura ini chitaura, the situation will escalate instead of de-escalating. So what is silent treatment then? And why are we saying it's cold and it hurts? Okay, it doesn't heal, because many people resort to that, thinking that it's going to heal the relationship, thinking that it's going to repair the relationship, but in most cases it won't. Let me give you the definition of silent treatment. Silent treatment is when a person refuses to communicate with someone because they are angry or are upset. If you're not going to communicate with me because you're upset, you are giving me what we are calling silent treatment. Remember, when God created marriage, one of the reasons was that God wanted to cure the problem of loneliness. Adam was out there in the bush and he was lonely, and then God said, I'm faced with lonely. Let me give him someone to talk to, and then Eve was presented to Adam, and life became better because there was someone in that space. So what couples do now is that we sort of pull out because we want to deny the other part that companionship. It's like I'm punishing you with solitude. Ndoda kuti garo ruwega, ndoda kuona kuti unoita sei ndisipo in that space. Zao kanzoita mhosva panapa uchandiswa kumaximum, chikirubhi maximum. And in most cases, kana iri mhosva inotyisa, unopinzwa mukaroom kako wega, kari dark, and
solitary confinement.
Exactly, unokaziva. And unfortunately, that's what most couples do now. They resort to using that as punishment, punishing their spouses. So if you are not going to talk to me, and nakusiyana nemunhu wawaisa mujeri, solitary confinement.
True. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't touch me. I am not here. I'm confined.
Exactly. For a moment, I don't exist. And apparently chinorwadza sokupinza munhu in that state where they think they are lonely, they've no one, and they don't know where this relationship is going. And that's a form of punishment that is so extreme. Silent treatment is so extreme because it confuses the heart. The heart and minds of the opponent, your partner, like now, it confuses them. Are you still here? Where is this relationship going? And the security relationship, am I still secure in this relationship? So it's a weapon that a lot of people use, and obviously we don't recommend that. Particularly narcissists, they use silence as a weapon. They use silence to punish you so that you can learn to blame yourself. So when you're in that state where they are not talking to you, you start thinking, you know what, maybe it's me. Maybe it's a problem. And you start looking for help. Oh, Pastor and because they've used a weapon called silence. So at the end of the day, you think you are the one who's to blame. So I'm talking to those that are also in relationships, because I know a lot of people have been ghosted. And it disappear on you, and then you start introspecting, and you think, I know maybe didn't to blame, maybe I'm not good enough for them, maybe and you start apologizing. So that's a tool that narcissists use. They use silence. If they go quiet on you for a long time, believe you're not a good person. But I've come to dispute that in the name of the Lord. Do an introspect. You are a good person. Don't succumb to the tactics. They are narcissists. They use silence. So why do people resort to silent treatment, Za? I'll just summarize this. Because there's a communication breakdown. You don't know how to go about it. You don't know how to navigate around the situation. So no, it doesn't work like that. You still have to discuss that issue. Marriage is for mature people, and maturity says if there's an issue, we sit down, we face each other, and we discuss, we negotiate. I don't get into that discussion in a winner-take-all mentality. It has to be my way or no way. No. I approach that situation in a give and take. Okay, what am I giving? What am I taking? Let's find the middle ground. And I spoke about punishment. Some people resort to silent treatment because they want to punish their partner. Number 3, some use it as an emotional self-protection. I'll be quiet, I'll be silent, I won't talk for my own sake, for my own good. Because the more I continue to talk to this person, the more I get hurt. That's why it's important for you to find help.
Yeah.
That's why it's important for you to outsource for help. Reach out to a counselor, reach out to someone that can help break that impasse, because that silence must be broken.
Yeah.
You must talk. So there's also that fear of further hurt and escalation and all those things. So the effects, also in a nutshell, the effects are, because I think people need to understand the effects of silent treatment. Because many of us, we resort to that.
Yeah.
And by the way, we call this silent treatment an escape response or flight response to conflict.
Yeah.
Kuti issue iripo, but you're going to withdraw. You run away from the issue. You act as if the issue doesn't exist. Issue iripo, and you still need to deal with that issue.
Yeah.
So what it does now is that it prolongs unresolved conflicts. Nyaya dzinzoramba dziripo dzichingopaila, and you still need to deal with those issues at some point. Saka, we have no option but to deal with that. Then number two, it also breeds infidelity. Pamene muri pasilent mode pa pano mumwe achauya ari kuda zvekutaura.
Exactly.
Achakunzwisisa, achakuona kuti Za, you are not yourself these days. What did what's his name?
You never trick me into doing it. Never.
Okay, let's assume there's no one then. So, in that space, when you're not talking to each other, someone is going to come and they will see, could this person is not themselves. They will read your body language. Could this lady is going through some stuff, and they come in, and before you know it, you are now bonding emotionally. So it breeds infidelity. Most people that end up in infidelity, if you try to speak to them and try to find out the cause, you find out it started when they were not talking to each other. So, guys, if you tuned in, please, let's break the silence now. Okay. So, it also becomes a culture. Kuti kana pangweta an issue, maguita se magutoenda mese into that mode, into that silent mode. Oh, I still have a lot, sir. I think we'll finish up next week.
Yes, unfortunately.
So, please come through to my WhatsApp, 0773 000 or 773 000. Then I'll add you to a relevant group. I need your name and your marital status. For now, I'm signing off. Remember to love God, love others, and love relationships.
Thank you so much, Pastor Simba. Unfortunately, I do have to love and leave you, and make sure, Woodsy, you stay in the capable hands of the Moxinator as well as Mr. 100. If you know you